Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce Wassaf, and Anthony, please come on the stage. Thank you. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Paul-Franck from Comlux. Like many of you, I'm from Comlux, so an aircraft operator, an aircraft broker in business aviation. And you may wonder if how relevant it is to talk about advanced air mobility. It's such a new world. My personal opinion is that we will very soon connect the dots between advanced air mobility and business aviation, our core business. And that's what I would like our two panelists to explain. So just to set the scene, advanced air mobility, as I said, is a whole new world. Those guys want us to radically change the way we're going to travel in style, sustainably, with less noise, less emission. But then this raises a lot of questions. How do we make a business out of it? So what is the offering for the users, for the travelers, for the passengers? What is it for us in business aviation in terms of business? When are they going to start operating? When we will see all those animals in the skies? And what about sustainable aviation in our world? As you know, it's always a very interesting debate. What is the use case for our ultra-high net worth individual? And for example, me, Comlux, and many of you, when can I buy this aircraft? What about the technology? What about the operation? So all the topics we would like you to explain a bit today. So let me welcome Wassaf and Anthony for a start. Okay, look, to kick off the story, what if you say like a few words about yourself and your business, only 1 minute on propaganda, and yourself and your business.
Yeah. So my name is Anthony Khoury. I'm the general manager for Joby Aviation. For those that don't know Joby, Joby is the leading manufacturer and operator of eVTOLs, so electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. Joby started operations in 2009, and we started flying our eVTOL in 2017 and transitioning flights in 2019. Yesterday, we published an amazing news. We did full transition flights, inhabited, piloted. This is a first worldwide, and we're extremely happy and excited to share this with you. To give you a bit more context, a little bit on eVTOLs. eVTOLs are electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, so they're fully electric. They take off vertically and transition into horizontal flights. And we are very happy and excited to say that we have been chosen to be the exclusive partner with RTA, and we're working extremely closely with the GCAA to bring advanced air mobility and air taxis very soon in the skies of Dubai. So we will have an aircraft in market next month, and we'll be flying it as demonstration flights, and we will hopefully start commercial flights in Dubai as early as H1 2026.
Wow. Yeah.
It's happening.
Okay, you sign with your blood. All right. Thank you, Anthony. Wassaf.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wassaf.
We can't hear you, Wassaf.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wassaf, and I'm the global head of air mobility for Chateau. A little bit of background about me. I started in this industry way back in 2017 when Uber, the ride-sharing app, came out with its white paper, Uber Elevate, which basically spoke about drones and air taxis. And we have seen ever since then, Dubai was the first in the world to launch Volocopter, one of the eVTOL companies based out of Germany, as a example model for the world to see how we will be moving from point A to point B in the future. And a lot of standards, technologies, and regulations have matured ever since then. And now we have come to a point where, like Mr. Anthony mentioned, there's a path to commercialization, and we are seeing that. So today I work as a global head of air mobility at Chateau. So we are based out of Dubai South, right next to Al Maktoum Airport. We have about 24,000 private jet aircraft movements every year. We have a facility which is spanning up to 48,000 square meters with 8 parking pads for helicopters, and 1 FATO, which is a landing pad terminal. We also have a state-of-the-art MRO hangar to service the helicopters and future eVTOLs. And we are looking forward to be participating in this exciting future with companies like Joby's and other eVTOL companies out there. It's a mouthful. eVTOL stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing Aircraft, which takes off vertically and cruises horizontally. So that's pretty much about me. Thank you.
Thank you. So if I understand correctly, a first tie to our core business is the fact that an eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing, is kind of halfway through between a VIP helicopter, I would say, and a small biz jet, right? Would that be correct?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the operator and the manufacturer. We've seen several different types of eVTOLs. What I would say is, in general, eVTOL's mission is short to medium length trips. Our aircraft, which is called the S4, specific missions is mainly air taxis. So it has a range of 160 kilometers. It can easily do Dubai to Abu Dhabi. It flies at around 320 kilometers an hour, so it's fast. And it's extremely silent. It flies at 45 decibel if it's flying above you. And if it's landing next to you at 100 meters, it's around 67 decibel. So hopefully, quite silent. We have been experimenting on other type of aircrafts, and we have a hydrogen electric aircraft. The hydrogen electric aircraft that we've built has flown on a single charge 800 nautical miles. So you're talking about, again, a different flight profile. But I would say, in general, what we're seeing in the advanced air mobility market, it's between short to medium length trips, anything from 100 plus kilometers to maybe 1,000. And engines would be or purely electric, so battery electric, hybrid. So we are seeing some hybrid engines, both petrol and batteries. And we're seeing new types of technology, as I said, hydrogen electric.
Okay, so if I'm, let's assume that I am an ultra high net worth individual.
I hope so.
It's still
One
part
day.
of my dreams in my life. So you mentioned that you start operation in 2026. I'm shocked to hear this. I can't wait. But then when can I fly Abu Dhabi, Doha, for example? You mentioned much longer possibilities now. When would that be?
Yeah, I think these flights will take time. I think until we see more advancement in hydrogen electric or hybrid operations, you'll be able to see these longer flights. Now the focus is short 100 to 160 kilometers. Don't be shocked about the timelines. Again, we had amazing partners with Dubai and the GCA and the RTA in bringing this technology to market. So we're very confident with the deadlines and the dates. And I think it's interesting to know that, as a hopefully ultra high net worth individual, it is a great complement to your first mile, which is your private jet. We've been working very closely with JetX as an FBO, and we have a partnership with them. In the near future, when you land in JetX, you will be able to take a eVTOL or a Joby from Air Chateau, which is a couple of minutes away, and fly to Atlantis, to Dubai Airport, to downtown Dubai, and to Marina in less than 10 minutes. So instead of taking a 45-minute commute, you just flew, 3-4 hours, you'll take an 8-minute eVTOL ride, Joby ride, and you'll get to your final destination.
Cool, so you hub the traffic, right?
Yeah, you hub the traffic, you don't, you feel comfortable in an amazing aircraft, silent, 8 minutes of beautiful Dubai views. It's a no-brainer.
Well, thank you, Anthony. Over to Wassaf, maybe. Wassaf, the title of this panel is Why the Middle East is Winning the Advanced Air Mobility Race. Could you tell us why? Do you have some hints?
Yeah, for sure. I think UAE has been at the forefront of this new race, which we call it as advanced air mobility, where drones and taxis are going to be the ultimate form of transportation for short haul inside the cities. Eventually, when hybrid electric propulsion comes in, you will be able to travel into cities. I think the key factor for Middle East has been the regulatory framework. It has been quite significant in terms of its pace that that gives a push to accelerated outcome of the timelines of these new technologies. I think General Civil Aviation Authority, Dubai Civil Aviation Authority, Roads and Transport Authority, I think we have to give a lot of credits to those people. They are working there day in and day out to make this a vision or into a reality. And that has been the key at the intersection of ultimately deploying these new systems out there. The regulatory framework has been quite swift to adopt to a certain pace where we have not seen anywhere in the other parts of the world. So Dubai or UAE in general serves as a city of the future, which could be prototyped in different parts of the world. We build here, it's a marketable, launchable platform, and copy and paste in different parts of the world. And that's why I think as an Air Chateau member, I feel quite proud to be right now in this part of the world, where our industry folks are saying eVTOL capital of the world is going to be UAE this year during Dubai Air Show, and we will see some of the new aircrafts like Joby Aviation coming in and flying and witnessing a spectacular gaze for people to have to see the tremendous outline of technology moving. So very happy to be here right now.
Well, that sounds exciting. Maybe let's share an experience I had recently. I was a few months back in Shenzhen, in the China Greater Bay Area. I was amazed to see how, well, first of all, I hadn't been in this city for years, and I was totally shocked by the progress of this city. And something in particular, when you order Starbucks coffee, for example, now in Shenzhen, sorry, you can order via the Grab app, and it comes with a drone directly on the drone place, 10 meters from where you are. It's still hot. I was totally shocked. So I'm just wondering, we say Middle East is probably going to win the race. What do you think about China in particular? Would you have thoughts about this, Anthony?
You're putting us in a difficult spot. I want to say that, so I know that Dubai is also doing drone deliveries. They're testing them with the DCAA in Dubai, one of the free zones. I forgot which one is specific. I think very different between drone deliveries and commercial passenger transport. Like, it's miles apart. And I've seen firsthand the level of thoroughness coming from the regulators here, both, again, the aviation authorities and the land transport authorities. Safety is a cornerstone that they do not, bypass. And we've had the chance to have the GCAA travel every month to the US to see the aircraft, to test the aircraft, to sit with our team. So I think there is a level of confidence that you have with the authorities here that, is extreme. With that in mind, you've seen a lot of, Chinese manufacturing that is coming to market, and you've seen a lot of Chinese cars that are great. But I think, again, we've seen in general, if you look at the past 100 years, Western manufacturing, Western technologies being usually a little bit more advanced. Are things changing in the world? Maybe, but for now, I do believe that, the technologies coming from the West are extremely, extremely strong and tested.
Okay, look, Anthony, you start to be very serious now, talking about safety and stuff. Let's continue. I have a question for you guys. Maybe we start with Wassaf, who's also an infrastructure operator. We've been talking about dreams right now, about what's coming soon and what we can do, like quiet flights, etc. When it comes to entry into service, you also have this chicken and egg situation, this catch-22 situation between having sufficient vertiports to land and sufficient fleet and sufficient destinations. So frequency and destination availability, basically. This is pretty much what Tesla had to do in its time. So how do you see this? How will you manage this chicken and egg situation? And maybe beyond this, you need to line up regulations, as you mentioned before, maybe public acceptance. How do you line up all of this in sequence in order to be ready for service with a real available service soon?
I think in terms of the physical infrastructure in the UAE especially, we have got sufficient amount of heliports and landing pads in and across UAE. In terms of the airspace infrastructure, I think the government has certain priorities to build the corridors for companies like Joby's to travel within that pipeline of the airspace. I think we are already there. I think it's all about amalgamation and coordination of the airspace and ground infrastructure, which is currently being taken care of by the respective stakeholders in the UAE. And the chicken or egg situation, well, that's a difficult question, but measures are being taken by this nation to get the technologies ready by erecting the infrastructure. So I believe we have the proper infrastructure right now. The goal would be to utilize the existing infrastructure, that is the heliports that are in the UAE, and focus on consolidating those routes along, like how I had spoken with Anthony today. We've got those premium corridors, which is the cream of Dubai in general, where you can see the entire skyline of Dubai when you travel in a helicopter today. And that is already existing. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. The VFR corridors for helicopters are already existing. And we just have to set a strong framework to establish timelines for deploying these new technologies. So that would be my answer.
I'll add a couple of points that are important. I think it's maybe for the community to understand the complexity that is behind launching the service is extreme, something that I personally haven't seen before. We are launching a completely novel type of transportation. And it is not only about the aircraft itself, which has tremendous technologies in it, and it's really at the forefront of its era, but it's also the infrastructure that comes behind it. I think infrastructure is a key component of this mode of transport. You need to have vertiports or heliports in key locations. Nobody, including ultra-high net worth individuals or your common Joe, will want to take a beautiful ride from A to B and then drive for 30 minutes to get to his final destination. So it's really the network that is a key component to this mode of transport. And behind all of these, you have the regulations of the aircraft, the regulations of the vertiport, the regulation of the airspace, the regulation of... So it is a tremendous undertaking. And going back to your chicken or egg problem, I honestly think it's quite an easy one. So I've had the chance to work with Uber for 7 years. So I led Uber's expansion and the P&L for the Middle East. And it was the same problem. These are networks or marketplaces or two-sided marketplaces, as we think of them. Ultimately, one side of the marketplace can be subsidized. Today, if you open as a demand or as a consumer, if you open your app and you are unable to get your final destination, you will not take it. But if you are able today as a product owner to subsidize and create vertiports across the city, then you are creating a demand. So with this, if you want financial power, the answer is easy. Network is crucial. You build vertiports, and you believe that demand will come.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you both. I realize that I'm running out of time. Sorry, I asked too many questions. Some last comments maybe, and maybe allow time for some question. Yeah, for some question. But some last comment. What sort of conclusion you would make before we get into the public question? I don't know. How about eCTOLs? Do you think this will be assets for us as business aviation in the future? How many aircraft do you want to operate in the UAE, in Saudi? Anything you want to say in conclusion?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, these aircrafts, electric aircrafts, will not be owned by airline operators or ride-sharing companies. I think it's going to be private jet operators in the beginning. Here's why. I will give you an example. Say you're coming from JFK Manhattan to Dubai. It takes about 16 hours of flight, or maybe Sao Paulo to Dubai, 15 hours of flight. So you land maybe at Al Maktoum Airport or DXB Airport, and then you have to travel to your destination within the Emirates. So what you basically do is you take a car today, which is going by ground, and this is restricted by linear transportation, wherein you are restricted by the third dimension of the space. So it takes a lot of time and congestion, and it gives a lot of hassle to people. Luxury traveling people, the world's discerning travelers, want to have a hassle-free travel. So it's not just about these new technologies, it's about having the ultimate control of your time and space. It's not just about traveling faster. It's all about having to gain your time and space to move from one point to the other. And this is coming, and you know, when I was small, I used to watch these Jetsons cartoons, and they used to have these flying cars, and we used to dream about it. And the future is not far away. It's just 8 months from now, I believe. So we are looking forward to having a wonderful future to share with the community of private jet operators and take it from there.
Yeah, I would follow up on that. I think the main takeaway here is that, you know, the future is here already. We've been talking about this type of technology for the last 10 years, and we're very happy to say that the first aircraft is coming to Dubai next month. That's a reality. It will be flying in Dubai next month, piloted, inhabited. And from there, it's only a matter of time where we're going to see passengers in the back seat taking trips from DXB to Palm. What's important also maybe to the business community and CGI and the community here in general, it is a very natural extension to people or consumers or customers using private jets to get from FBOs to their final destination. So again, our partnership with JetX is the first of its kind, and it's a great anchor point to say, hey, you land with your jet, you don't need to commute and take 45 minutes to get from DWC to wherever. You can take one of these aircrafts and you'll be at your destination in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to Abu Dhabi tomorrow. It might be too early, but soon. Last two questions for you, Anthony. What would be the approx price point for a flight DWC to Palm or Al Maktoum to Palm?
So we haven't finalized the pricing yet, but we are targeting a very affordable ride. Currently, I would say anything from, let's say, DXB to Palm should be around 120, 150 US dollars per passenger. Again, this is very preliminary numbers, but it just gives you an idea of you know, the price point.
Well, at least you gave a number. And the very, very last one, for us in the room, many of us are brokers. We buy aircraft, we sell aircraft. Why should I buy 5 Joby aircraft, and how much would I pay for it?
Again, so first of all, we don't have a sales strategy yet. As I mentioned before, we are the manufacturer and the operator, so we will be operating the aircrafts here in Dubai. We're finalizing our AOC, so we will be operating the aircrafts. I'm sure in the future there is a plan to sell the aircrafts. No price point yet. Why would you buy them? I think, as I said, I think it's an amazing extension to your service. You land in a specific location in a country and you provide your ultra-high net worth customer with a direct mean to his final destination. Silent, efficient, sustainable, no-brainer.
Okay. All right. My last words as far as I'm concerned. What shocked me today on this panel was the date 2026. I'm shocked, positively shocked. So well done, guys. We can't wait to see it in the sky. And on this note, I'd like to thank and congratulate Anthony and Wassaf. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.